Okay, so what things when we are looking at a piece of music indicate what the key signature is? First thing.
The actual key signature.
Okay, so the key signature is 1. In this case, our key signature is what? F major. Even if you're not sure, even if you look at that first flat and think I don't know what that key signature is, even if you just identify that there's a B flat in that key signature, so all your B's. Okay, so that's one thing. Anything else? Down.
Open a note.
Open a note. In which part? All of them. Okay, so we are really talking about the notes that are on the main beats of the bar, and we're talking about the whole way up. Are there any other beats that we are looking at?
The triads.
Okay, what do you mean triad, John?
Like, in the first bit, it's all FSC triads.
Okay, so it's all like a triad, but
The main themes.
the main theme. Okay, we'll come back to that in a wee second. But just in terms of which are the important beats in any bar, we're in 4/4 here. We identified the first beat as obviously being quite important. Any other beats? The beginning, halfway through the bar, so the beginning of the third bar as well. Now that won't always tell you what key it is, but it's quite important. Alright? Now, John, you were making a point there. What else can we look at? The main theme. Now it is quite important. Why is that, John? Because you were pointing it out. Okay, it's in a triad, it's not FAC, okay? Have we looked at the notes? Okay, so the first note on the main beat of the bar is a D. On the next main beat it's a B flat. On the next main beat it's a B flat. And then we have D's. And we also have G's in the bar. So that triad in itself is giving us G, B, D, or really G, B flat, D, because that is our key signature, the B flat. Is there anything else which we haven't identified yet? Accidentals. Big deal as well. Okay. Where are the accidentals here? The sharps. So, in terms of the accidentals that I have here, I have F sharps, like we've identified, and I have B flats. Now, what is unusual about the fact that I have a B flat and an F sharp? It's not necessarily diminished. We learned that in key signatures, you can't have sharps and flats unless it's a minor key. Okay, so that would be a clue. All right, so we haven't quite figured out what the key signature is here yet, but we know G, B, and D are awfully important in this. Okay, because they're notes that are coming up again and again and again, and we know it's probably a minor key. So that should tell you that the minor key that we are looking at is G minor. All right. Now, I think what was happening in your exam was that some people were kind of tending to look only at the bass notes or only at a vertical chord and not seeing the bigger picture. Okay? So here we are. We're trying to find out the key signature of this excerpt. Can anybody point out to me different things that I should be looking at this stage? Key signature would be 1. Okay, so it's the same as it was the last time. We still have these B flats. Anything else I should be looking at? Pardon? Okay, the first beat of the bar. So here we have A as a bottom note. We have F's and we have D's. And again, you need to be comfortable with reading those notes. Anything else that I can be looking at? The main theme. Okay, so it's the same dum da da dum da da dum bum bum bum. We have noticed. And that usually spells out some kind of triad. And again, we can see that A's, F's, and D's are quite important. Is there anything else in this excerpt which we can look at, which maybe we didn't have in the last one? Pardon? Absolutely. So you can see here that we have semibreves or big sustained chords in the upper strings, and that those notes don't change. So that is obviously a very important chord, whatever they are playing, and they don't change. So in this case, that is quite interesting for us as well to figure out what key we are in. Can everyone see that? Okay, so we figured out that D, F, and A from all our different clues. D, F, and A are the most prominent notes. What key is that? D minor. Okay. Now there's really 2 separate processes to this identifying key signatures. First of all, it's been able to identify all the clues and get the 3 important notes for the triad. Okay, and I think, well, I'm pretty confident you can all do that part. But the difficulty is then taking those 3 notes and actually saying, is it major, is it minor? Is that where the problems are happening? Okay. Well, what you need to do is to go right back to what we did at the start of the year in terms of how to figure out key signatures. Remember we looked at that round Fancy Charlie or Father Christmas got an electric blanket and the flats are the other way around. That is what is the key thing here, okay? Or you just need to go and learn key signatures, but that is what needs to happen. Why is D, F, A, D minor? D major should have an F sharp. Remember the key note is D. You go back one letter in the alphabet, which is C, and that should be the last sharp. So if D major has a C sharp, it means it has to have an F sharp as well. So again, we're looking to try to find out the key signature of this excerpt. Some identifying features. First of all, let's see. Patrick, give me one.
The paddle and the trumpet.
Okay. Good. I'm glad that you pointed that out. That's something that we haven't had in an excerpt yet. Can anybody tell me what note that actually sounds like? An A. Good. Even though it's written an E, we're looking down for fifth lower. Okay. Brilliant. Anything else? Let's see. Orla. The C sharps. Absolutely. Okay. So we have them. You can see them in the bass here. And we're coupling that with the fact that we have our B flats as part of the key signature. Okay, anything else, Joe?
No, more that's all I have. Just the notes on the beginning, the first and third beats of the bars.
Absolutely. Okay, so the first third beats of the bar here, and we can also look at the motif. Remember? Okay. So again, we should find the three main notes that we have coming out of this are A, F and D. So we've still got our D minor triad, and this time we do have the C sharps in the raised seventh. Okay, so trying to find out the key signature of this excerpt. Some of the things that I could be looking at. Dervla, if you want to give me one.
The motif.
The motif itself, which in this case is in the solo, what is that? The solo oboe, is it? No, recorder. Okay. Great. Tara, another one?
The naturals.
Okay, the naturals. In fact, we have B naturals in here. Okay, so that's cancelling out the flats that we have in the key signature. Great. Darren, another one?
The opening note of the second bar, because we're disregarding the bar.
Okay, yep, so we're looking at this from the second bar. So this opening note here on the main beat of the bar. Great. So out of that then, what three notes have we got coming out as important?
G, E, and C.
G, E and C, absolutely. Now in this case, we could also look at the bass line because it is totally based on the notes C, E and G. What key do you think we are in here then? C major, absolutely. And if it had a flat, it would be C minor. Just to keep things going then, we will look at the next.
What's with the F sharp?
Sorry, we'll just go back here. Here we go. And this last key signature, we're looking from the very first bar itself. Okay? So there's a few things that we can look at. Chiefly, we're looking at our key signature. We're looking at our main motif, which in this case is in the lower strings. We are looking at any accidentals, and here we have a few. We have E flats. Sorry, we don't have a few, we only have E flats really. And we can also look at what notes or what chords are being played on the main beats of the bar. So I'll just give you a minute to figure out what our three important notes of the triad that we're looking for here are. We could also look up here in the trumpets, so we know that in this piece trumpets quite often play dominant pedals. I mean, it has some repeated notes there. Okay, in terms of the three letters that come out here, what have we got? So what was the first one? Good. B flat, D, and F. So what do we think the key is? B flat major, and really the E flats that we have confirm that, because we know that the key signature of B flat major is 2 flats, B flat and E flat. The last point to say is that you should know that we've learned all about modulations in the Baroque era, and they don't move too far from the F major tonic. They either go to the relative minor, or they go to the dominant, or they go to the key, or go to keys which are associated with those keys. So for example, B flat major that we have here is a subdominant. So you try to remember that whenever you're figuring out these key signatures, and that will be a guide for you. They should be somehow related.